Okay, all right. Hey, everybody, welcome to Sam and John's Book Club.
Hey
John
there,
and Sam's
guys!
Book Club, if you
Hey
ask
there.
me.
Hey, Sam here. I'm the second most important one.
That's
Which is
right,
why
and
my name
I'm
comes
John.
later.
Clearly superior boy.
John, shut up about all that.
Okay,
I've got some news for you.
what's that?
Brandon Sanderson did it again.
He did?
He did.
No
Yeah,
way.
Honestly, for the first part of this reading, I was not enraptured.
No, I was kind of bored with this section.
But then by the end,
Uh-huh.
I was like, hoot, tatin, bap, zingy, and I was
a
like,
wop wop and doo wop, a wop bamboo.
I was all up in there, and I was like, Brandon Sanderson, you sly fox.
You clever dog, you.
You sick mother. No. Okay,
Let's get through the boring stuff so we can get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I have a lot of notes about this one. It was just a lot of stuff happened, I felt. There were it was a lot of shorter chapters, which I think made for more notes for me, so yeah, let's kind of speed through it.
Yeah.
Okay, we learned about smoke form, hiding or slipping between men, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Crafted of gods, it was of unmade hand. It was of unmade hand. I don't know what that means.
Yep.
Okay. Haha, lol, they're riding horses. Kaladin's scared of a horse.
They're not good at it. But then
Kaladin's
he's scared of the horse,
dummy.
so he rides the scary horse.
Yeah, alright, Kaladin says he's experienced everything. He says he'd have a hard time imagining something he hadn't experienced. And I'm sitting here, the reader, and I'm like, Kaladin, you ever experience a green monkey, you big idiot?
Right.
Can you believe this guy?
Yeah.
So that was fun. And Moash was revealed that he was out on the balcony in kind of the spooky zone time after the high storm, but before the king fell.
Because they surmised that the assassination attempt must have taken place after the storm.
But Moash, I'm like 99% sure does not have a shard blade. So
Right.
I don't know how he would have done it exactly.
The inevitable Moash betrayal is incoming. Let's not try to sugarcoat it. You know it's going to happen. I am pretending I know it's going to happen.
I'm just saying, John, let's not rush into things, Let that betrayal stew. Let it soak. Let it marinate.
Right. Give it some time. Let it...
Yeah.
Like with dough, how you got to leave it out and it'll just kind of expand on its own.
It levs. It levs. The dough levs.
Yeah.
Which is why they call it unleavened bread if it doesn't lev. I'm making the word... I don't think lev is a word.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
All right. It's like unfettered. You know how something could be unfettered, but I don't think something could be fettered,
What does unfettered mean? I know I've heard that, but...
I don't really know.
All right, I'm going to look up if lev is a term and fettered is a term. You keep talking in the meantime.
Okay, that's all I have for that chapter, though. Honestly, they ride the horses. It doesn't go so hot. There's one spooky horse, which I think might become Kaladin's best friend horse eventually. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
That's just a fan theory. I ship it, Kaladin as Storm
Dream
horse,
Storm,
whatever the heck its name was. Yeah.
Dreamstorm. Unfettered.
Dreamstorm.
To release from restraint or inhibition.
Okay, can something be fettered?
Let's find out.
Does that mean restrained?
Fettered. Adjective. Restrained with chains or manacles, typically around the ankles.
Okay, well.
There you go.
Do you have anything else in that first chapter, John?
Nope.
They blame our people for the loss of that land. The city that once covered it did range the eastern strand. The power made known in the tomes of our clan. Our gods were not who shattered these plains. That one didn't really all rhyme, which kind of threw me.
Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to get the rhythm in these, but...
We're no longer just having forms described to us, so I feel like these are more significant than the previous ones. So yeah, they blame our people for the loss of that land, the city that once covered it that ranged the eastern strand. This makes me... I suspect whenever I hear the word city, and it's vague, I think that's got to be thru, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sam, I have great news.
What's that, John?
Leaven is also a word.
What?
Yeah. To cause door bread to add by adding leaven. Causing bread to rise by adding leaven. Because unleavened means bread without yeast or a leavening agent.
It means without leaven, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I guess my unfettered example was apt because those were both not what I thought they were.
Yeah. All right, sorry. Back to what this podcast is about.
The city that once covered it did range the eastern strand. I suspect they're talking about thru. It makes me think that thru is to the east.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on the eastern side of the Shattered Plains, but I think aren't the war camps on the eastern side of the Shattered Plains?
I believe so. Yeah. Where's the origin at? Is that also the east?
The origin. Oh no, war camps are western side. They're southwestern side. Origin is to the east.
Okay.
So maybe your thru's just way off on the other side. You know?
It could be. Yeah.
Don't know.
Weird.
The power made known in the tomes of our clan, our gods were not who shattered these planes.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
Now, this is contradictory to what I was saying earlier, because I was like, oh, the planes themselves, they're all buildings.
Right.
And now, well, maybe they're not, because if it got shattered...
Right. I didn't interpret it the way you said it, but then you really sold me on it. And then I read this and I was like, well, maybe not. I don't know what to believe.
Well, the thing is, that wasn't something I was like positive about due to previous
reading.
No, that was just what I really thought it was.
Well, you talked me into it though. Like I saw where you were coming from.
Yeah.
But now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, so somebody did shatter the planes, but it were not the spooky Parshendi gods.
Right.
Okay. So on this one, Adolin he's on a plateau assault. It is not a plateau assault he's really supposed to be on, but Dalinar sent him off with some other, Team Dalinar folks to just sort of like help out, to like lend a hand, show some goodwill. That's exactly what I was looking for, Jonathan.
He uses the shard blade in kind of a fun way where he stabs it into the wall and uses it as a foothold because shard blades can't break, they can hardly bend. And I was like, that's
he stands up on his sword, leaps upwards off of it to get up on top of like a plateau, a cliff thingy, and then de-summons it down below and calls it back into his hand.
Yeah.
And it was pretty baller.
Yeah, it's pretty fun stuff.
He meets the enemy, the Parshendi Shardbearer, who we know to be Eshonai.
Yeah, Eshonai. She finally gets to a conference with an Alethi that's so close to Dalinar. What convenience.
She's like, let me talk to your dad. We're going to send a messenger. Please do not kill him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adolin's like, all right. And he kind of overcomes the throw there. I say, good job, Adolin. Good job talking it out.
I was going to say, first time Adolin has done something non-combat where I was like, hey, you didn't screw this one up,
Hey,
buddy.
That's my boy. I always thought you were cool, Adolin.
Yeah. We find out that Sadeas is bribing people to not duel Adolin. Well, not bribing exactly, but
he's bribing,
working against it. Yeah, in some way. And then the guy that Adolin's fighting with, I don't remember his name, but they're kind of buddies. And afterwards, he's like, "Hey, let's go get a drink after this thing." He's like, "I can't really be seen with you though." And I was like, "Ooh, ouch, rough."
Yeah, poor Adolin. Yeah, Dalinar's, all his politics are in fact making his son's lives kind of bummers right now.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Renarin is sad because he can't fight, but he really wants to. Renarin, just do what you're good at, buddy. You don't have to learn how to fight.
Renarin, just go be an Arden. Have you thought about that, Renarin?
Has anybody told you you'd make a great Arden?
Yeah. So it's also a new scratching thingy is on the wall. I had very few notes for this one, John.
Yep.
49 days now. A new storm comes. Also, there were different guards about this time, so it's not the guards, but we didn't think it was anyways. Chichinga.
Yep.
All right, now, hey, it's Shallan's past some more. Again.
Yeah.
Have we ever heard the name Van Chushu before?
I don't think so. That was coming up a lot, but I didn't ring a bell.
Did he die after this? Is he no longer one of her brothers because he's dead or something? Or was he just kind of insignificant so we forgot about him?
Maybe, because she's talked about her brothers before when she was thinking about the past. It wasn't like a flashback episode like this. It was just her recalling stuff.
But I remembered the other ones. Well, I at least remember Balat and Halloran. I feel like those are the big ones.
There were two more we learned about in the non-Balat interlude in book 1, but I don't remember their names. But I feel like we didn't hear that one. I feel like I would remember that. But
does this guy end up dying, or did we just forget him? I don't really know.
Yeah, who knows?
Either way, he's an alcoholic with a gambling problem, so that's good. Kind of fits in with the rest of the siblings.
Yep.
Also, what do you got?
Yeah, we get confirmation that Shallan's father, in fact, killed her mother, not Shallan herself, but Shallan witnessed it.
No, I don't think we did get confirmation of that.
Oh, somebody thinks that's what
we got confirmation that her brother thinks that's what happened.
Ah, you're right. Okay, you're right.
So...
Boofta.
Yeah. Also, Shallan can, like, see a light emanating from the strongbox through a painting.
Right.
Is this strongbox where a shard blade is held? Or do we know what's in there? Or...
No, because she saw the light from it in her prior flashback. And then this time, we know that nobody else can see the light. And she says, in the box is her mother's soul.
Yes, she says in the box, they're her mother's soul. And now I'm just wondering, like, can she actually, for some sort of supernatural reason, see a light emanating through this strongbox, even through a painting? Or is this just a sort of thing where, like, the strongbox is so significant to her that she can sort of metaphorically see it? Like, it's always, like, so on her mind that she feels like she can see it, even through a painting. Sure. I don't know. I don't know which.
I mean, she's soaked in trauma, right? But, like...
Yeah, she's got trauma to spare.
All of her weird light powers makes me think it's real, but yeah, I feel like these flashbacks just give me more questions every time, and they don't solve anything.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll eventually reach a turning point where they start answering questions instead of creating them.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
Building the mystery. It's all part of the game.
And that's all I've got for the flashback, dude.
Same.
All right. The betrayal of Spren has brought us here. They gave their surges to human heirs, but not to those who know them most dear. Before us. 'Tis no surprise we turned away unto the gods we spent our days, and become their molding clay, they changed us. Okay.
So the Spren betrayed them, so they turned to their gods?
Yeah, so here's what I'm getting. The Spren were once totally on team Parshendi.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to mix in, I think, a later one. Or wait. Okay. There's a later one of these quotes. I'm just going to go through this one now as well when it's kind of relevant.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Spren betrayed us, it's often felt. Our minds are too close to their realm that gives us our forms. But more is then demanded by the smartest Spren we can't provide what the humans lend. Though broth are we, their meat is men. Okay, so here's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Originally, the Spren were totally Team Parshendi. However, when they bind to the Parshendi don't give them the sentience that they get from binding to humans. Right?
Ah, okay.
Because we discussed that until they bind to humans, they're all part of, like, the hive minds, kind of, you know?
Yep.
And that later one makes me think that, yeah. So okay. Spren were Team Parshendi, but now they've betrayed the Parshendi by just deciding to go, bond with humans because humans give them sentience, which they obviously want. Mm-hmm. So they gave their surges to human heirs. Check.
Yep.
But not to those who know them most dear, and that's the Parshendi think themselves. Yep. 'Tis no surprise we turned away unto the gods we spent our days and became their molding clay. Okay, so now that the Spren have left them, they were content just being Spren Parshendi.
Yep.
But now that the Spren have left them in favor of the humans, the Parshendi, or I guess the listeners, should we call them the listeners? That's what they call themselves, right?
Yeah, sure.
They decided to turn to another source of power or something, which was their gods, which I think might just be the Odium Spren. I think when they say our gods, that might just be Odium Spren.
I believe it.
Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. Yeah, I buy it.
Okay, and this is, hey, Shallan's just hanging out with Tin.
Yep.
Skip, bap, shabba dabba. Teach
her to be a con artist. And Shallan is just digging a deeper hole for herself every day. She's so good at it.
Yep. We started at the bottom, and then we found a shovel. Am I right, John?
Yeah,
Remember that old inside joke?
Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
All right.
There are eye drops that make you appear to be a dark eyes. That seems pretty OP.
But it's only for a couple of hours. That was also my first note for this chapter. Mm-hmm. And then, hey, they meet up with none other than our boy, Kaladin.
Yep.
We
had
mentioned...
as they meet up,
we mentioned previously
sets up
that...
the situation for her to be, what are they called?
Rock Eater.
Horn Eater.
Horn Eater, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so Kaladin, as we mentioned before, is out there kind of patrolling, looking for bandits with some members of... Well, it's just some bridgemen, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure enough, he stumbles upon... Only Tin and Shallan decide to go up and approach and actually talk to these guards who are just like, just checking in, just making sure everything's cool. Yeah. And Tin immediately decides that it would be fun, and that's the only reason.
Right, just trial by fire to practice accents.
If they decided that Shallan was like some sort of Horn Eater royalty and Tin was her servant.
Yep.
So they do that act, and now Kaladin thinks that Shallan is Horn-Eater royalty.
Right.
And
Queen
also she steals his boots.
Wakiaki Ma'a.
And she steals his boots. All right, so that was fun.
Yeah. I liked when she was like, hopefully she wouldn't run into these soldiers again because, they'll think the wrong thing. And I was like, oh, don't worry. That probably won't happen.
And we, the readers, are like, ooh, do I detect a hint of dramatic irony? Because she will so inevitably run into the soldiers again.
Right. And now she's stolen his boots. Well, stolen. And that's going to be fun to watch that all,
Yeah, he is not going to appreciate that. Because, it's not like she'll be able to go up to Dalinar and Adol and all that, be like, it's me, Shallan of Aden. And then Kaladin walks up and she's like, and she starts doing Horn-Eater accent, right? Like, Kaladin is going to approach in that context, and she's just going to have to be like, yeah, dude, I lied.
Hey, what can I say?
Yeah. Kaladin's going to be like,
kind of my thing.
I hate you. Yeah, like, that's going to suck.
Took my boots. What the heck?
Yeah, it's funny, though.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, then we get a little song on art form. Thank you, listeners. Actually, for this one, they do say we must attract creation spren. It's like,
is that the?
Is it like they need art form to attract creation spren to unlock another form, or do the creation spren give them art form? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I bet. Oh, you know what? I bet's happening, John. I bet they need to attract creation spren to get art form. Which is why Eshonai is forcing them to do bad art.
Oh, you're right.
Because they're trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, to you make into an art form. Yeah, probably.
Okay, and now we're with Sadeas.
Yep. And we're just reminded that Sadeas is terrible and insane.
He's just a bad guy. Yeah, he says at one point that he can actually remember a time when the Parshendi tried to surrender. They laid down their swords, and he personally slaughtered all of them.
Yep. So now they don't surrender anymore.
It turns out that a long time ago we could have had peace, but then again, that's not what the Alethi were looking for, right? They were looking for vengeance.
Thing, yeah.
So, even if it hadn't been Sadeas personally killing all of these surrendering Parshendi, it might have been someone else,
Right, because he said now they engage us properly in battle, So that's probably just an Alethi thing.
Amaram had always been. He's not a high prince, right? He's just a prominent Light Eyes who lives in Sadeas land, right?
Yeah.
So Amaram by default is Team Sadeas. He's staying in Sadeas' war camp. He's hanging out with Sadeas. Yep. But even so, it sounds like he's trying to be kind of a cool dude. He's like, we should give Dalinar and Elhokar a chance, right? We should talk with them and try to be cool, cool bros. But then Sadeas says, oh, come on, Amaram, you can drop the act around me. I know that you're a, and I quote, ruthless bastard.
Yep.
Right? And Amaram is like, well, you got me there. And I'm like, whoa, is there...
Whoa, what?
Is there more to... Are we going to learn more bad stuff Amaram has done?
Right. Apparently Amaram, his act is more than just betraying Kaladin.
Yeah.
Not so surprised, though, really.
Yeah.
Given that he just slaughtered a bunch of innocent people to uphold his reputation, I'm like, maybe this isn't the first time something like this has happened,
Yeah. Also, Sadeas says that he wants to rebuild Alethkar completely from the ground up. He may have to kill Elhokar himself to do it.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, I feel a little bad, and I'll kill him myself out of respect for Gavilar,
Yeah. Well, now this is incongruous to me, which I think is a word I maybe have used before, maybe a little bit too much in this podcast. But I swear, back in book 1, I wrote down that Sadeas seemed super genuinely concerned with the king's safety, right?
Yeah.
I could have sworn thinking that, in a big way,
Yeah. Was it because he took over, the investigation, and he was saying that, Dalinar confirming Elhokar's paranoia was only making things worse?
Maybe that's just how Sadeas is, because, he totally played Dalinar before betraying him, right?
Yeah.
So maybe this is just maybe he's just really good at acting like a concerned, loyal high prince. When in the back of his mind, he's always thinking oh yeah, I'm going to kill this guy eventually.
Right, yeah.
Maybe it's the sort of thing where he's like, I won't let anyone kill you. If anyone's going to kill you, it's going to be me.
There you go, yeah.
Maybe it's that sort of thing. Maybe he's having an anime moment.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Hey, but that's also all I have on that chapter.
Let's see, I got... Oh, Adolin has his duel in this chapter as well, where he
fakes
it makes it look like he's not that skilled, And then at the end, he wins with like a lucky blow, and so he's just trying to make himself look worse so more people will challenge him.
Yeah, and Sadius is commenting that, you have to be good to win, but you have to be a master to win only by a tiny bit.
Right, yeah.
Like, deliberately. And I like that, that's... I don't know, that's kind of fun to me, to, the idea that you're so good you can only win, but you have such incredible control. It's like those people who they walk across a tightrope, making it look like they're stumbling the whole way, right?
Oh sure, yeah, it's exactly like that.
It's just, I don't know, it's cool. I like the idea.
Yeah. And Sadius is trying to think how he can use Adolin. He's like, man, he's more clever than I thought. We'll see what he can do.
Yep. Now I mentioned that the first several chapters of this were kind of like whatever, and then eventually it got really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting there. I think there are about 2 more chapters for me that were like, meh.
Yep.
And then suddenly it all gets kind of awesome.
Yeah, the all caps notes start 2 chapters from now. So.
Same here, dude. Same here. All right. 'Tis said it was warm in the land far away when Voidbringers entered our songs. We brought them home to stay, and then those homes became their own. It happened gradually, and years ahead, it will still be said, 'tis how it has to be. What the heck?
Yeah, no idea.
All right, the fact that the Parshendi are referencing the Voidbringers in their songs make it sound like maybe the Parshendi are not the Voidbringers, or maybe the Parshendi, even among themselves, view a certain sect of the Parshendi as the Voidbringers that they think of themselves as being separate from,
Sure, yeah.
I don't know, because...
I mean,
before this exact poem, I was under the impression that the Parshendi were the Voidbringers, and those two things were just sort of synonymous, right?
Right, yeah.
But now this one has me guessing.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe when they bond with the Odium Spren, that's when they become Voidbringers?
And up to that point, they're just chill dudes? They're just listeners?
Yeah,
okay.
That's my running theory at the moment.
I buy that.
So Shallan goes into this nice little area of weird nature, starts making a bunch of drawings, and then randomly she draws that one lady from the interlude that vandalizes stuff.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what I thought. She was like talking about how she drew a woman that was like attacking another person, but she was like, that other person looked like they were made of wood or stone or something. So that's
and she was holding a chisel to their head and hefting a hammer that she was going to pound the chisel in.
Yeah.
And
I don't know, I guess the lady that was vandalizing stuff was just like going crazy smashing things.
It could have been that. I honestly didn't consider that, but now that you've said it, I am kind of a fan of that theory.
Yeah, that was my immediate thought.
If that is what it is, though, then does Shallan have some sort of weird clairvoyance power that lets her?
I mean, she's done weirder things with the drawings, right? I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, the thing is, like, we know that having like radiant powers gives you more than just the surges, right?
Yeah.
Because Kaladin keeps flying with the freaking storms, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like he, I mean, this is a little bit later, but he like knew a storm was coming before it actually came and stuff like that. Like, it seems like having these radiant powers does more for a person than is like immediately obvious.
Right. Yeah, you get less, prominent perks maybe. So this whole time, Tin's talking about how to be a con artist. You got to do a bunch of stuff that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to do stuff that you're not going to be able to handle, kid. Trust me. And she keeps like thinking, you can tell that Tin is like, oh yeah, my life has been real messed up, unlike yours. And
you precious little baby.
Shallan's like, well, my life hasn't been so great. And Tin's like, I'm sure you think that, but...
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yikes, Tin, if only you knew.
Right. I was like, all of the reactions she's having are because of repressed trauma, but, it won't matter for
Yeah,
her.
I bet Shallan could enter a, like, effed up past contest with, like, 20 other random humans, and she would win. Maybe 50, maybe 100.
Yeah,
probably 1,000.
Yeah, that's rough. So then she kind of divulges her fake scheme where she's like, I look like the girl that's supposed to be marrying Adolin, so I'm going to pose as that girl to get into the court, and then I'll steal spheres from Dalinar or something.
Yeah. And Tin is like, I like where your head's at, but I have a few notes. And then Shallan is like, taking them seriously?
Yeah.
Shallan appears to be like considering Tin's notes on how to fake the thing that is in fact real.
Right. She's like, just my note. What is Shallan going to pretend to be a different Shallan than she is to fool Adolin somehow? Shallan, what are you doing?
Yeah, is Shallan going to pretend to be someone pretending to be Shallan just for kind of no reason?
Right, yeah.
Because I'm getting concerned over here, Shallan. You're making me nervous that that's what's going to happen.
Like, she has dug the hole all the way back around that she's back on the surface, but then she fell in the hole again. Like, what is going on?
Shallan doesn't even know. Yeah, I'm getting like, kind of nervous about it.
Yeah, she's gotten officially too deep. Like, I know I've been saying that, but now she's like going full circle where it doesn't make any sense anymore.
After that, John, we have a separate poem on smoke form again.
Yeah, that was weird.
Why are there two on smoke form? This one is also, hiding and slitting between men. Yup. Do we dare to wear this form again? It's spies, crafted of gods. This form we fear. Yada, yada, yada. I don't know. Maybe a smoke form Parshendi is the one writing the things on Dalinar's wall.
Oh.
However, I am pretty confident based on recent interludes that they only know 5 forms and smoke form is not one of them.
Yeah.
Then again, time has passed since the interludes.
Yeah. Yeah, who's to say?
So, I don't know. It's another theory. Just add it to the list.
Yeah. Throw it
on.
So
there's like some Ardent who's drawing the Bridgeman.
Yep. Yeah, they're just gaining renown. Teft is doing a great job, but he's kind of gone missing.
Yeah, Teft is MIA. I hope he's okay, dude, because I still have a lot of questions for Teft.
Yeah, they're saying all these things about Teft being gone. I was like, well, he's dead. Kiss him goodbye. Next.
Well, the thing is, like, they said that in this chapter, and then 3 more chapters passed, and we still never heard about Teft. And every time I was like, where's Teft? Where's Teft? Where's Teft?
Yeah.
It's making me kind of nervous. There's a high storm coming, and Kaladin predicts it. He just feels like the air is stale or something coming up on it.
He's like,
and I don't know if this is something everyone can do. You know, I feel it in my knees, right?
Yep, exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Or if Kaladin has some weird power that lets him just know. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And it makes me wonder if Kaladin has the ability to predict high storms. Do all Surge Binders have that power?
Yeah, could be.
And then, hey, we're back to Shallan, mid-chapter.
Yeah, switching back and forth.
And Tin is like, I'm going to be getting a span read from Yaakaved later this evening. Do you want to know about what's going on in your homeland? And Shallan is like, well, tell me what you know, yada, yada. Tin is like, my past is dark and mysterious. I'm very edgy. Also, Szeth killed, like, every prominent political figure in Yaakaved. Like, we should have known about that prior to this, but I guess it was understated. Like,
right, yeah.
The king died, like check. I knew that.
Yeah, this is like a designated survivor situation. Have you heard of that show?
No.
As far as I know, it's like the premise is that the president is in like a plane with like the next 5 successors to the presidency, and they all die in a plane crash or something.
All right.
And there's like one guy who's like suddenly the president, and that's like kind of what's going on. Is the king and his next 6 guys that would have taken over all died. So now there's this huge war for power, and all for that bloodletting. What's his name?
Man, John, I feel like you just drew like the perfect parallel, and I'm sorry that I didn't understand.
Well, I feel like I know my parents watch it, and I just saw like 2 commercials for it, so that's like my impression. But
sure.
But yeah, that's what's going on, and yeah, Shallan's like, well, that blows, and
I mean, geez, oh, Pete.
And Tin's like, well, we'll go back to your homeland once you're done with this little con in the Shadowed Plains. We'll see what shakes out.
Yeah, Tin's like, I mean, hey, there's turmoil, and where there's turmoil, there's desperation, and where there's desperation, there's a game afoot, my young Padawan. Let's go scam all those.
Where there's turmoil, there's oil to strike. God, I'm funny. And now we're into the good chapters. All right. All of these chapters before, useless, bad, stupid.
And this like beginning poetry thing is the one I already read you because it was relevant earlier. So let's just get right into it. Holy moly, Brandon Sanderson. How dare you lull me into a false sense of security with all that slow stuff
what happened.
before just like giving me the 1-2 punch. Oh,
right. And I was like, we're getting near the end of the part, and like you texted me right before we started this, and these were the chapters that I hadn't read yet.
So
like, part of me was like, I'll just read like Spark Notes so we can do this podcast on time, and that would have been so bad.
That would have been a bad 3 chapters of Spark Notes, dude.
Yeah. So Kaladin has a dream where he's riding the storm, and so he's like, "Oh, I'm riding the storm. That means somebody's behind me." And it's the
there's the Stormfather. Hey, hi, Kaladin.
Hey, just pushing you along.
Hey, you're killing Syl.
Yeah, you're a traitor because you're a human.
You're killing her. Apparently, you're like partway into killing her already.
Yep.
And I'm like, how? What did he do? What did Kaladin do?
Yeah. What is happening?
And then the storm is like, whoa, by the way, what's that? And Kaladin turns around and there's a big red storm, an even bigger red storm coming the other way. And the Stormlord says, he comes for you, little traitor. And that's the Stormlord's voice.
Okay. The Stormfather has a very cool font in all of the, whenever he talks, it's a different font altogether.
He comes for you, little traitor. That, I think he is Odium?
Yeah, it sounds like
the red storm.
This big storm. It was like consumes the whole world or something. Like high storms are little baby axe hounds in comparison. Spooky stuff.
Well, a baby axe hound compared to what though?
Sycamore.
Sycamore's big. Uh-oh. All right. Hey, and guess what? We get okay.
Oh, I was going to say Kaladin wakes up from this and like walks out into the storm. What?
Well, he's fine. He's been on a storm before, no biggie.
Yeah.
And it might have been the kind of post-storm as well.
Right. Yeah.
It kind of starts dying down.
Kind of the end. Yeah.
And yeah, I think we hear a little tidbit between. It's just like Adolin dialogue or something, or like someone. It sounds like the Parshendi messenger arrived.
Oh, is that what happened? Yeah.
Which I kind of expected to be like a big plot point, but then it didn't come up through the end of the part. So,
right, yeah.
I guess we'll see what happens with that. I think like a meeting might have been arranged or something. It was like one line that I didn't actually write down verbatim. So.
Yeah, I probably just glossed over it.
Syl says he's coming. The one who hates. Something's going to happen. Something bad.
Right, and right before that, it pops back to Shallan. And Pattern is doing his little buzzing thing during the storm like he always does. And she like tries to listen. And he's just saying, bad, bad, so bad. So maybe he knows that something bad's about to happen. You know?
I mean, they're pretty close. They're within a couple of hours of the Shattered Plains, you know?
Yeah, they're like camping out early just so they can arrive in the morning.
So yeah, Pattern could very well be reacting to the same event Syl is reacting to.
Mm-hmm. So then Kaladin's like, okay, my friend told me somebody's coming. Everybody evacuate. We're getting out of here.
Of course, he doesn't say it in such straightforward terms because Kaladin is a what do you call it? Not a chronic liar.
Pathological.
Pathological liar, just like Shallan. It's just a common trait.
Right.
And of course, Kaladin only lies by a mission, which is luckily. It's better. I prefer that to the way Shallan lies.
Right, yeah.
And
so then they go down into the basement, and
who busts in through the wall?
Seth Son Volano.
Oh my god! And this was my first all caps note. It was simply the word
Mine too.
Seth, followed by in all caps. It's happening.
Mine was oh shit! Seth has arrived.
Because this is something that like end of book 1, right?
Right.
Seth is gonna come try to kill Dalinar, and then I kind of started forgetting about it.
Right. He's been dragging
Brandon
his feet.
Sanderson. He put it off just long enough that I was like, who knows when that's gonna happen? And then boom!
Right. I assumed it was gonna be at the end of the 60 days, but yeah, we're like not even halfway through, and pop, here he is.
Yeah, here he is. Wow.
So then. The stupidest thing, Kaladin is like, oh, it's the assassin in white that we have all heard about, and he like draws in some stormlight. He's like, oh, not too much though. Can't get myself away.
Oh, yeah.
Even faced with the deadliest foe that anybody knows exists.
Elhokar is like whining. He has some line where he's like, "Oh, he's come to kill me, just like he killed my father." And the way Kramer narrated it, holy moly, Elhokar is the biggest baby who ever lived. Holy moly. All right.
Yep.
Dude, during this fight, all right, Adolin and Dalinar and Kaladin are closing in on Szeth, and they're trying to fight him, and he's flipping up on walls and ceilings, yada yada. And they're like stabbing spears at him, and Szeth just takes the hits because he knows that his Stormlight will just heal him and he'll be fine. So it's like, oh my god, how do you beat this guy without just cutting him in half with a freaking shard blade, you know?
Right, so Adolin tries to fight him, and he like pops him into the air, and then he goes up to Dalinar and just like smacks him in the face, knocks him to the ground.
Yeah, and you know, Szeth reveals, I wasn't here for Elhokar, I'm here for you, Dalinar Kholin. All right.
And he's swinging the shard blade down. Or well, no, before this, he cuts through Kaladin's arm, right?
He cuts right through it. Oh my god! Which means that Kaladin's arm is permanently and forevermore disabled.
Dead forever.
His right arm will never, ever work again. Because it is an established mechanic in this world that's how shard blades work, right? They sever not the body but the soul. They sever the soul, John. Okay, so that's...
And as soon as this happens, right, I was like, either this is going to be a situation in that one TV show that Olin Rogers makes where the guy loses his arm, and Olin Rogers later, he's like, he's not getting that arm back. We're not pulling punches in this cartoon. And I was like, okay, it'll be that, and Kaladin will be awesome anyway. So I was like, or Stormlight's just going to heal it in a real nice, convenient fashion.
I hope it's that first one, because I always kind of hate it when, like, what feels like an established mechanic is just kind of tossed aside. I kind of hate that.
This is another one of those thingies that we talked about way back in the day where it's contrived, maybe, and I never looked up those words. Yep, contrived a little bit. Deliberately created rather than arising naturally.
The Deus Ex Machina.
Yep.
I never looked up the origin of that term like I said I would.
Wow,
John, we're having a great throwback to our past episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, Kaladin is like going in on Szeth.
Oh, never mind. Keep going.
Okay. And he's like one with the spear, and he's like kind of looking into the future a little bit, kind of a future sense almost. And like the way this scene's playing out really made me think about like Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes. Did you ever watch that?
No, but I've seen like clips.
He can like see the whole fight playing out in his head before it happens.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And like that's what was happening with Kaladin. It was like very reminiscent for me. I don't know. And then rest in peace, Kaladin's right arm. And then
because he moves just as fast as Szeth.
Kaladin is like talking to Syl mid-fight at one point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, he has a spren, and Syl says no, he's something far more terrible. No spren guides him.
Mm-hmm.
Which we had already discussed.
Strengthening our honor blade theory. Yeah.
Yep. Dalinar does the most baller thing of all time. Like when you think here I was foolishly believing that a 10 was the highest number a character could get.
Yeah.
When in fact it turns out that Dalinar has transcended that scale. Right. He catches the shard blade between his palms as it's like crashing down on his head.
It. Yeah.
Wow.
That was sick, yeah.
That's very
Because cool. Kaladin's like trying to get up to save him, and he's like, nah, it's too late, it's coming down, and he claps it, and Kaladin's like, oh, alright.
Dalinar is just he's too cool to die, which, thank goodness, honestly.
Yeah, I was a little unsure. I mean, I didn't think he was going to, but I was having my doubts.
And then
Kaladin just runs into him, knocks him out of the hole that he'd cut in the stone, and they start falling down.
They both fall off a cliff, ouch.
Out of the palacey thing.
And then we get another nice little poem.
Well,
but it is not impossible to blend their surges to ours in the end. It has been promised, and it can come, or do we understand the sun? We question not if they can have us then, but if we dare to have them again. It is not impossible to blend their surges to ours in the end. Is there some way that a Parshendi can like bond, like pair with a human surge binder?
Like, how would they know that?
It's in the freaking song, dude.
Right. Like, the songs are fundamental thingies, but what would that even look like?
I don't know. It is not... Or is this talking about... I don't know if this is a Barshendi can bind with a Void Sprint and a normal Sprint at the same time, or if a Barshendi can bond with a Void Sprint and a human at the same time.
Okay, no, the former sounds more likely to me in that scenario.
I don't know which. It has been promised, and it can come. Or do we understand the sun? What? That was just I think that Brandon Sanderson was just like, what rhymes with...
I do remember reading this. I was like, Brandon Sanderson poetry is not exactly his forte.
We question not if they can have us then, but if we dare to have them again. Okay, so... The Barshendi know this can happen, they just don't know if they want it to. Fair enough. Okay, and then, would you look at that? Kaladin heals his arm.
Oh, great. Cool.
Lame.
And as he's doing that, like, Zeth, when they both hit the ground, they're both alive, and Zeth was like, I lashed you to the ground. Why are you not dead? Or did I lash you upwards? No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, how are you not dead?
Yeah, how the heck are you alive?
And then he sees him healing his arm, and he's like, whoa, what?
Yeah, Kaladin's like, haha, you dumb dummy. I'm a freaking Surge Binder, you idiot.
He's like, what are you? He's like, the same thing as you are, buddy. And he was like, no, you can't be. They called me Truthless.
Yeah, Zeth was named, and this implies to me that Zeth was named Truthless because Zeth had made some claim that the Radiance were returning or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
What?
So, like, this horrible fate befell him because they thought he was lying?
But, like, how did Zeth have this information to begin with? Especially if he's only fighting with an Honor Blade, and there's no sprint bound to him. Why would he assume that other people were...
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like we are missing a lot of Zeth's past here.
Yeah,
and I want it. I crave it.
Because it sounds like as soon as he was declared truthless, he just lost all, like...
credibility.
Will to live, any, like... care in the world about stuff he knew before, but it sounds like maybe before he was onto stuff, but then he became truthless, so he's like, well, my life's meaningless now, so whatever.
Like, what does Zeth know, and why does he know it, is what I want to know.
Yeah.
Either way, this revelation that the Radiants are in fact returning, maybe Zeth shouldn't be truthless, it kind of freaks him out, and he just...
Yeah, it, like, shatters his whole worldview. Yeah, he's out of there.
He zooms off into the sky, and bada bing, bada boom, Dalinar has been protected.
Maybe the fact that he thinks he might not be truthless means he's not going to blindly follow this order to kill Dalinar anymore, or he's going to go investigate first.
That would be dope. Zeth, come to Team Good Guys, maybe.
Yeah, you're OP.
So Kaladin managed to protect Dalinar just kind of by existing near him, which is great.
Yeah.
Also, I had a note here which isn't relevant to what was happening really, but it just made me think, what if can he channel through his feet? Can he channel surges through his feet if he was barefoot? Could he fight? Could he fight barefoot and stomp on an opponent's foot and bind their shoe to the ground? And then they'd be all messed up. They'd be stuck. You know?
I mean, I would think that's how it works, but I have no evidence to.
I'm just saying.
Suggest that.
Maybe Kaladin's a big dummy and he should give it a try.
Well, yeah, during that fight, I was like... Because he sucks in some of the Stormlight from the spheres that Zeth is carrying as they're falling, right? And I was like, yeah, just do that. Like, at least fight him with, fight fire with fire in this case.
Yeah. Also, Kaladin goes back up, and they're like, how did you survive? And Kaladin has a line about, he's like, well, I want to tell them that it's because I have a sprint and I sucked in Stormlight and it kept me alive. But I can't.
Be great.
And I'm like, you suck, Kaladin. Just tell him.
Yeah.
Just say the words.
Damn it, Kaladin. Yeah.
Now Adolin is all suspicious of Kaladin, and I'm like, is it possible that all of this secrecy and truth by omission is backfiring?
No. No.
That's crazy talk.
It's funny to me that, like, Kaladin's lies are, like, less crazy than Shallan's, but he's getting punished for them so much harder.
Yeah, Shallan honestly deserves to just get, like... She deserves to have some stuff go wrong for her based on all these lies.
And I'm sure it'll catch up with her eventually, but...
Maybe even as soon as the next chapter. But before that comes up, John, I'm going to go to the restroom really quick. So we'll just cut ahead a second in the recording. Sorry.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So
John,
we read it. Yes.
There's been another freaking carving on Dalinar as well after a high storm.
No, say it ain't so.
No, it is. It says
How many days?
38 days, the end of all nations.
Whew. That sounds bad.
And this is where I thought, now wait a minute. During this high storm, Navani was definitely in Dalinar's room the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't that like always the case? Because she's in there translating
recording his visions, yeah.
Yeah.
Dalinar wasn't in there this time when this got scrawled, right?
I don't think so. Unless... I mean, yeah, because Kaladin went in at one point. It would have had to have been something where, like, they just didn't notice it and they left.
Right. But that seems...
So it kind of seems like they left because Kaladin was like, get behind me. We have to go escape this assassin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then something or somebody came in and scrawled it after the fact.
Yeah. Which is super weird because I was, like, so convinced it was just, Well, I was thinking it was Dalinar doing it during his things, but then Navani would notice.
It's like what I said, John. Because Brandon Sanderson said explicitly that it might be that. There's no way that's what it is, right?
You're right. Yeah, I was fooled.
I guess it could still be a spren, but I don't think it is. Yeah. What was the bet we had, John? I was gonna eat an egg, and you were gonna eat a couple of black olives or something.
I think so. Was that about this?
Maybe.
That was definitely what I put on the line. I don't remember what
comment in the description. Wait, no, you can't comment in the description. Comment below whether or not yada
what was our bet about?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kaladin has a line about he hated how good he was at killing. And I'm just saying, that sounds kind of a lot like Szeth. That's the way Szeth talks.
Yeah. That's
maybe Kaladin and Szeth should set their differences aside and sit down and have a beer.
Right, and they could become a great surgeon duo.
Does Szeth know anything about surgery, though? Wait a minute.
What? No, I'm just saying because what prompted him thinking that was his father's words coming back to him, seeing the wounds on people.
There was another line about Szeth that says, his shard blade was different. I feel I should know why. Something about the amount of light it was consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Syl. All right, this pretty much confirms for me that is an honor blade.
Yep. I think that's what they were called. I don't actually remember. That's just what came to me in my notes, but whatever the Parshendi left behind.
And that brings us on to our final chapter of the reading. Our gods were born, splinters of a soul, of one who seeks to take control, destroy all lands that he beholds. With spite they are his friend. His gift, his price. But the night forms speak of future life, a challenged champion, a strife, even he must requite. I don't know if I did that to like any sort of cadence or tempo, but I'm trying to.
Yeah, you started off, but it's
these
hard.
Ones are just kind of messed up. They're hard to put to a tune.
No, I try to kind of read them, with some sort of rhythm in mind, but they don't always work.
So our gods were born, splinters of a soul. This is kind of reminiscent of what Syl was saying about how she was a tiny piece of a god, yada yada. It made me think that she was split off from either the Stormfather or maybe from Honor or something, the Almighty, whatever. Who knows?
Yeah.
And now this is making me think that maybe if the Parshendi gods, who, as I've stated, I think might just be Odium Spren, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are also splinters of a soul. Maybe that is Odium. Maybe they're just little bits of him kind of chipped off. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
One who takes to take control, destroy all lands that he beholds. That sure does sound like Odium. With spite, they are his spren. Check, 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 check. His gift, his price. Check, check. But the night forms speak of future life. I mean, that's just saying that if they take the evil dark forms, it will let them survive as a species, maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
And then a challenged champion, a strife even he must requite. That brings us back to what Dalinar was seeing his visions, right? The Almighty told him that they might be able to beat Odium if they presented him... they offered to have their champions do battle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is something that Odium might take them up on. Even he is bound to certain rules, so said the vision, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, bada bing, bada boom. This is just kind of stabilizing a lot of stuff, sort of supplementing a lot of stuff we've already heard, yeah.
Yep. But that's all overarching plot stuff. We got urgent matters in this
Let's
chapter.
get back to the micro. Let's pull out our fine-toothed combs and get all up in there.
So the span read is still going.
Yep.
And what is revealed but, Tin orchestrated Yasna's assassination. What?
This was a shock to me because I forgot this.
Yeah.
I was like, no, Tin! Like, why, Tin?
Right, and she's not, we find out kind of by the end of the chapter that she is not a Ghostblood herself, but she was like doing a job for them in this, and I was like, that's a pretty big job, killing Yasna. Like, that's kind of, they wanted her research and everything about your thru and the Voidbringers and all that jazz.
And she said, oh, I didn't go on the boat myself. I don't like boats. Like, that was her only reason. Otherwise, she would have just, like, been there. Holy moly.
Right, she would have been one of the assassins, yeah.
Also, she's saying that, like, let's turn in all of these deserters for a reward. And Shallan is like, no, I know that I was lying to them, but I want my lies to have been true, right? And Tin is like, hey, you gotta face the music sooner or later, kiddo, Yep. Like,
when you're starting to think your lies are real, that's when they get you.
Yep. And this was my second note, right after she admits to, or reveals that she was part of Yasna's murder. My second all caps note was, wait a minute, just in all caps. And then the span read continues after revealing that Tin was involved in Yasna's murder, and oh my god, John, I can't even. You say what it said.
It's like, and she had a ward that was also on the boat, and I looked into House Devar, girl named Shallan, red hair, pale skin. And Shallan is like trying to grab the span read, and then Tin is like, oh my goodness. Are you for reals in me right now?
You're actually Shallan Devar, Yasna's aide, fully aware of the murder I orchestrated.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So
well, now, I gotta kill you. You understand.
Tin throws her to the ground. She pulls out a sword or a knife or something. And
she curb stomps her a little bit.
She's going to kill the heck out of Shallan.
And she's like, did Yasna die? Yasna died, right? And Shallan like chokes out Yes and then pattern from behind her. It's like, it's me, Yasna, where the cabin's reserved on the boat. And she turns around, distracted for just a second. Shallan tries to run, but then she turns around and grabs her ankle and trips her again.
And then Tin kills Shallan. The end.
Yeah, and a book too. I was surprised. A lot shorter, this one.
But wait, John, let's go into an alternate universe briefly, where something else happened.
Okay, sure, yeah. So,
and this was my second all caps note. Shallan has a shard blade?
Yeah.
What?
Right, well, she calls out to Pattern for help because she realizes she's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, yep, this is it. She's got to use the shard blade finally. And she's like, 10 heartbeats. Wait, it doesn't have to take 10, does it? And I was like, what do you mean?
No, I mean, yeah, she said, for her, it didn't have to be 10, did it? I'm like, why not? Why not? Why? Yeah.
And so she buys just enough time, and she like does the cool thing where she makes a little evolution of herself with her light weaving powers.
Yeah.
And so Tin swings through that, and then that spot just enough time so she does the cool thing where she brings her hand forward and the sword forms as it's like stabbing through her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
And then I write, rest in peace, Tin. Oh no.
Yep.
Because
and then
Shallan, she's been stabbed right through the torso. It severed her spine. Yep. Her soul has been.
Right, her eyes burn
deleted,
out.
Yeah.
Yep, she's donezo. And then Shallan's like, well, no time to be traumatized, as is my usual form. Let me just stuff all this down deep.
Let me just bury that, wrap that up nice and tight, throw it in with all the other traumatic events. Yeah.
Just turn it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she opens the tent door, and everybody's there, and she's like, all right, I got a shard blade. I killed Tin. She was trying to kill me. Now listen, here's what's going down, everybody.
Yeah.
Look through here. Find the information. And everybody's like, whoa!
Dude, and it makes me wonder, after, like, all right, so let's be honest. What Vatha and the others just walked in on was incredibly hardcore, right?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know yet. We don't know. But is this, do you think, a turning point where Vatha is going to suddenly start being Team Shallan?
Oh, he's gotta be. He has
because I think
no chance.
I think it is. I think we're gonna open up the next part, and Vatha is gonna be like, "Oh, my lady, please," and like she's gonna bring all these guys in, and Sadeas is gonna be like, "Hey, kill those," and she's gonna be like, "F you, Sadeas," and and she's gonna be large and in charge, and they're all gonna be her loyal servants, and it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be dope.
Right, it's like, whereas Kaladin's little white lies just keep getting him in more trouble, Shallan just lies her way straight to the top, and it goes great every time.
Yeah, like
Shallan catches a break at every corner.
It's like that. It's like in Rick and Morty, where Jerry, there was like that big war, and he was like, "I just kept crawling, and it kept working." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like that's Shallan. She just keeps lying and it just keeps working, and I don't like it, but I kind of like it. I don't know.
Because, like, this huge lie of her conning this con artist catches up with her, but it's just fine. Now suddenly she has more power than she did before.
But yeah, no, now she's just like, "I'm a shard bearer. I murdered this lady. You're all gonna do what I say." And they're all like, "Yes, cool.
Great, cool.
I wouldn't have it any other way." Yeah, dang. I just dig
it's like she comes out of the tent and like they run because they hear gunshots, and she comes out like 2 AKs just standing there. She's like, "All right, listen up."
Yeah.
And they're all just like, "All right, hey, sure."
Yeah, gosh darn. So all right, so now I suspect Vatha and everyone are like totally Team Shallan. That's my guess, right?
Yeah.
And the Span Reed, guess what? They don't know that Tin just got murdered. They don't know. So Shallan is like, "This is mine now." And the people on the other side of this, they think I'm Tin. And that's cool by me. So Shallan now has access to Tin's contact.
Right. And they're like, "The Ghost Bloods want to meet up. Do you want to do that?" And she's like, "Yep."
Yes, I do. I'm Tin. And I will meet them. Probably as Tin, right? She's probably going to go in. She's been studying Tin, training under her, right?
Right.
And you know what? She even has freaking illusion magic.
Right.
She might go in literally just like full Tin.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and the Ghost Bloods, we also learn, have info on a city, which Shallan theorizes is Thru, and which I think is probably you're probably right about that, Shallan.
That's the exact same thing the Ghost Bloods want to know about, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, hot dog, dude. It was slow, and then Zeth showed up, and then Tin got murdered, and I'm like, whoa, bow. It just, oh wow, it started popping off at the end.
This honestly felt like, like the ending of a book in a series to me. Like, the amount of crazy, just because like so much of book one's ending was tied in like some of these events.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how's this book gonna end? What tops this at this point?
What's
And
left?
I know it will, and it's gonna blow my mind. Similarly,
okay, let's talk about. We have a ton of loose ends lying around, right?
Oh yeah.
Like Sadeas was just talking about wanting to kill Elhokar.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that'll come up.
Yep.
Shallan is going to reach the Shutter Plains. She's going to have this whole weird, certainly not a love triangle, but some sort of triangle with Adolin and Kaladin, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's going to be some weird dynamics going on all around.
Right, yeah.
I mean, yeah, though, what else is going to happen? Holy moly! I feel like something's got to happen with Renarin because he's just.
Yep. And then where's Seth going? What's his new plan?
Where's Teft? Where's Teft? I want to know where Teft is.
Right.
When is Moash finally going to kill some Light Eyes?
Yeah. When is Kaladin going to kill Amaram?
When is Kaladin going to just explain that he's a freaking Radiant?
Yeah.
When is Shallan going to get punished for all of the blatant and frankly irresponsible lying she's been doing since the start of this? What's going on with Shallan's brothers nowadays? We know that Yakavet is in turmoil. Their house was already on the weaker side, right? Yeah. So what's happening over there?
How did Helleran die? What's in the strong box?
Why did Helleran get a sharp? Yeah, honestly, let's just power through some more of Shallan's past, huh, Brando? Can we make that happen?
Can we just knock that out real quick?
When is Kaladin gonna fall deeply, deeply in love with this horse? These are the questions I want answered.
These are the mysteries we need solved.
All right, let me go ahead and pull up our reading for next week.
Yeah. I almost forgot. I was ready to just Sign, seal, deliver. Call it a
Me
day.
too, but then I remembered that we need to. All right.
Oh,
so
you
next
need to
time...
send me that Excel sheet, by the way.
Oh, I'll share it with you right after this. We are finally into part 3. Well, first we're into the interludes before part 3.
Right.
We start with interlude, the Rider of Storms. And let me tell you right now, this one is also from Eshonai's perspective. And based on the name, I am concerned that Eshonai may be becoming a horrible, evil Voidbringer Storm lady.
Yeah, she has taken Storm form, presumably, in this chapter. We'll find out.
And we are going to be reading up through chapter 42.
All right. How many interludes are there?
That's a good one. 4 this time.
Okay, nice.
One of them is from Zale. Is that the Swordmaster?
Yeah, it's Swordmaster.
One of them is interlude 7, Town. This is the Herald, John.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Was at the very end of book 1. He wandered into the city in Althkar, the capital of Althkar, where Hoyd was hanging out, and just like collapsed. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right. He came in and fell over, and he was like, "It's coming. The end is upon us."
Okay, and that was a little while ago now. So the fact that we haven't heard anything about him makes me concerned for our boy Taln, you know?
Yeah,
What's going on
He
with
was
him?
not in great shape. And Boyd was like, "Oh, silly little god boy, you're too late."
And then we have a bunch of other chapters as well. I'll tell you the names of just a couple of them because they're kind of fun.
Sure.
One of them is titled "The Multiplied Strain of Simultaneous Infusion."
Oh my goodness.
And another one is titled "Heterochromatic."
Okay.
Which, I don't know. That sounds kind of fun to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, by next time, read up through chapter 42.
Sounds
and
good.
I mean, let's just call it, John, huh? I think we did a good little thing here.
I got a dinner to go eat.
You got a dinner to go eat, and I got a probably game of League to go play, so.
All right.
Hey, I'm Sam.
I'm John.
And this has been Sam and John's Book Club!
Where we read.